Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a first impression style review of a beauty tool. It has been a hot second since I did a first impression video and you guys seem to like them and I love doing them. I have buy so much makeup and I have so much to test out and I just want to do first impressions on everything, but that's just very time consuming. So I try to do them on the highlights, the products I think would be most interesting to do a video on. So if there's anything, as always, that you'd like to see a first impression review on, let me know in a comment. So today we are trying out a dupe for a very well-known product here on YouTube, the Artis Brushes. Just a disclaimer, I have never owned or tried an Artis brush, but clearly this is trying to mimic the same sort of shape, so I'm not really comparing it to an Artis brush because I don't really know what to compare it to. I've never really watched videos on them, I've just seen people use them in videos. So this looked really interesting as soon as I saw it. I was sent this through Octoly, but all opinions are always my own. I'm going to be brutally honest in this review, as always. If you want to know what Octoly is, I'll link my video about it down below and give you my referral link so you can sign up as well and get free products sent to you. But this is the Oh Wow brush from Cailyn Cosmetics, and I've owned things from them before. They have a lot of really cool stuff. I feel like they try to make a more affordable version of a lot of really popular products. They have a foaming face mask, other sorts of face masks that are really big right now, all kinds of stuff. So this says, simply put, this brush is an awe-inspiring, wow-inducing miracle. So my standards are pretty high, especially since I've never tried any sort of brush like this. It says it has velvet-like bristles, densely packed ultra-fine fibers. It's supposed to give you an airbrushed effect, streak-free, has a dome angular-shaped surface to blend foundation, powder, cream, moisturizer, and primer seamlessly into your skin. I've already moisturized and primed my face because that's boring. You guys see me do that in a lot of videos. Has a pointed tip to fit underneath the eyes and help contour. The handle's supposed to be sturdy and self-standing, and it has a slip-off cap to prevent germs and dirt from getting on it, and also makes it good for travel, which I love. So this is what it looks like. It looks kind of like a toothbrush, and it just says Cailyn on the handle. My light is really bright over here. I don't know what's happening. Sorry about that. I hope it's not too annoying, but it does have a flat handle, so you could stand it. Yeah, it's standing on my vanity. Pretty cool. It has a cap, like a toothbrush again, and I really love this because usually I'll take my big fluffy brush like this with me everywhere because I love it. But I wish it had some sort of sleeve because the amount of times these poor bristles have gotten stuck in the zipper of my makeup bag and then they get all bent in the wrong direction and I have to wash it to fix them. But this is really pretty looking. It looks really expensive. This, I think the Artis brushes are somewhere around $60. They're really expensive, so no thanks. But this I believe retails for about $30, so it is more affordable, but it's still not cheap, you know. It's not a Real Techniques brush that you can just walk into Target and pick up. But the bristles are really gorgeous. This looks like an old Victorian style sort of brush. I feel like some of the Artis brushes have a silver handle and they look really fancy and metallic. This one is just plastic, but the bristles look really expensive and they're really shiny. They are really dense. This is insane, these bristles right now. They're so soft. I've been rubbing this on my face and it feels amazing, but they're a little flimsy on the end, which is good, I guess, to blend. Hoping they're not too flimsy. It's supposed to be streak free. I've only seen one person review this on YouTube and she didn't really like it too much, but she'd also tried the Artis brushes. So I'm wondering, with someone with low expectations and no idea what I'm looking for, well, maybe like it more. And it says to clean, you can soak it in their brush cleanser for 3 to 5 minutes, rinse with warm water and let it air dry. I'll probably just use my regular baby shampoo because probably won't buy their specific brush cleanser because they're all kind of the same. If you'd like to see first impressions of me trying some other beauty tools, I have these, this Expert Face Set. Is that what this was called? Expert Face Set Kit something from Real Techniques. Comes with their sponge as well. Those are tools I've been using for my face makeup for a while now. I've never tried something where you actually blend it like this, but I feel I don't know, I have mixed thoughts. I feel like that might be really cool for getting precision, but also foundation gets really weird in the crooks of my nose. Does anyone else have that? I always have to go in with my finger and blend it. I just must have a really deep little nostril dimple. I don't know. So I'm a little nervous for spots like that because foundation tends to cake up. But I feel like this could be a really cool, really fast way to do like flat spaces like your forehead. So enough talking, let's get started. I'm going to be using my It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus cream, which is not a foundation, but I've been using it like one, has SPF 50. This I did a first impressions on in that same video about the Real Techniques brushes. So if you want to hear more about either of these products, go check it out. So shall I zoom you guys in a little bit? I'm so excited to try this. Oh my god. Hey, how you doing? So here is this brush more close up so you can see the bristles. They just look so soft. They're so shiny and velvety. I hate to get this dirty. So let's dip into this and get started. I always start on my left cheek. So let's get blended. I feel like there's a lot of resistance like in these bristles. And like the handle is so long. I feel like I'm like really gripping really hard. Like I just want to hold it up higher. Like it's making this look really sheer. Like I put quite a bit of product on here and it's really shearing it out. I mean, this stuff I can get to be pretty heavy coverage if I want, but it is kind of a medium lighter coverage product. I usually layer it a little bit, but it did give a really flawless finish. I can't really see streaks, which I was kind of expecting, and it actually is small enough to fit under the eye really well. All right, so I'm gonna go in with some more, do my chin. I feel like it's absorbing so much of the product. Like I put enough on to cover like a big part of my face and it only did my chin. Maybe because it's the first time I'm using it. If you already have some product, ow, just hit myself. If you already have product on here, maybe it'd be easier. But then again, like look how gunked up it looks with just that amount of product on. I feel like you'd have to wash this like almost every time you use it. Wow, that did a better job on my nose than I thought. You can really get in here. Like this is pretty small brush. I think I have like a smaller face. I was saying in another video that blush brushes are always too big for me. So this is good if you have a smaller face. I forget which Artis number they compare this to. It's not like one of the main ones. It's a lot smaller. But look, I use a whole pump of product. That's enough to do my whole face with a regular brush or a beauty blender. And I barely did half my face and it's really sheer. So like this is really using up my product, and since I don't have much left, I'm feeling that a little bit more than I usually would. So let's go in with another, that's a full pump. Let's see how far that gets me. Because usually 2 pumps is like 2 layers of my face. Let's do my forehead because that's not my fave part. You can just kind of go do, like you don't need to use circular motions. Maybe I'm just like dragging it too hard. Dragging too hard. Maybe I could be a little lighter, but I feel like if I don't like press in a lot, it will give me streaks. Oh, this ear area feels weird. I'm getting like brush strokes right here. It's a very strange area to get into. Did a good job, but like you can still see redness on my face. You can see all these little spots where I'm breaking out. Like this stuff usually gives me a lot heavier coverage. I really like it for my nose though. Like I'm surprised. Usually my nose is like the worst spot and it's always so sheer there no matter what I use to apply, but give me a pretty opaque coverage there. This might be good if you have a really heavy foundation. You kind of want to sheer it out on purpose. This is fun, but it's not as quick as I thought. Like if I'm in a rush and I have to like leave for school in 5 minutes, this isn't what I'm pulling out. I'm pulling out my sponge or my fingers. See if I like pack it out. That hurts. Don't do that. That hurts. I was trying to like pack in the product on these spots and it kind of works, but it's looking a little cakey too. I feel like I'd have to go over my whole face a bunch of times to make sure I don't have any lines. I'm just gonna spread the product on my brush down my neckline. This stuff doesn't really give me that foundation line because it's so light, but you know, just out of habit. It's pretty easy to do that. I don't know. This coverage is a lot more sheer than I would like, but I feel like going in for another coat would just give me the same effect. You really have to like pat on areas that need more coverage. Let's try this for concealer. I'm going to use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser. I rave about this stuff all the time. My best friend borrowed this one time. We were getting ready together. And she actually went out and got some the other day, and she like never buys herself new makeup, but she had to buy this because she was like, what is that sorcery? But mine's like almost gone, and I feel like if I twist it, like not much product comes out anymore. There's just so much in the sponge. I don't know. It's weird, but there we go. All right, I'm done. No blending needed. So let's use this little tip at the top, and blend that in. Oh, it looks so terrified. I'm making like this ghost face. Usually I like this flat side of the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge because it fits in here so well. It's really big though, but like somehow it works for me because this concealer can look a little like cakey if you don't really like blend it and shear it out because it is thicker. So this looks a little cakey. It's not blending it out as much as a sponge would, which I feel like kind of shears it out a little, but it did blend it. Like it's definitely gonna crease though, because I feel like there's a very thick layer on here because it wasn't sheared out by a damp sponge. I feel so fancy doing this. This is the real reason everyone buys these, because they feel fancy as heck. So I'm just using really small patting motions around here because if I go like my concealer will be down to my chin, which I don't really want. I want it in this sort of under eye cheekbone area, and it's hard to get like right here. I mean, it is with any beauty tool, but I always get like this dark spot right here, so I do try to get a little product in there. It's a little hard to fit. I feel like I need to like wipe this off. Like there's so much product on here at this point. I think it's getting a little cakey, hitting my nose over here a little bit. So I did a decent job with concealer. It sheared out my foundation too much and didn't shear out my concealer as much as I usually do. So that's kind of funny that it had the opposite effect, but concealer does give me a lot fuller coverage when I do it like that. I'm just gonna set that with powder because it probably will crease. Probably set your under eyes with this brush I'm using if you wanted to with powder, but I get the sense it's better for like liquid or cream products. I don't know. I'm just gonna set my whole face with my Lorac powder just because I have to, or it will slide all the way off. And let's see if it looks fuller coverage once I set my face makeup. Wow, that really mattified my face. So it looks, the coverage looks a little heavier now that I've set it with powder, which would be my final step anyway. It doesn't look as sheer as when I first put it on. I wish there were more coverage on these spots, but sometimes that CC cream doesn't give me great coverage. It's like a light to medium coverage, but I feel like the brush sheared it out a little more than I wanted. Probably go in with a second coat. It'd be interesting to see how this would work with a more fuller coverage foundation. The one I was going to try, this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, it just dries so fast. I feel like by the time I would spread it around my face with this brush, because it does take a little bit longer to blend out, that it would just look really weird. But I'll definitely be trying that in the future, just like on my own time for fun. I'm not really seeing any streaks or like brush lines, maybe around where like my concealer stopped blending out. No, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty flawless. I'm kind of liking my face right now. I just expect to have a little less coverage than usual because I feel like this just like sucks in your product. Like look how much lighter the bristles are now. And the bristles are all kind of caking up and they have a completely gunky texture now that I've used it. So I feel like you'd have to wash it after every use. I'm just gonna use some MAC brush cleanser to kind of spot clean it and just like spray it directly on the brush. And usually if I do this with a foundation brush, it will get like a good amount of product out. Can't tell if it's because it's a little wet or because there's still product in it, but the bristles still look a little funny. So I feel like you would have to wash this every time you use it, which is kind of annoying. But it says you can just soak it in brush cleanser, so maybe it's easier than I'm making it out to be. So overall, this was fun to use. I'll definitely be using it more in the future. I liked it for concealer. If you're a person who uses sponges or brushes and your concealer gets sheared out too much, this gives you, like, somehow maintains really heavy coverage for under eye concealer, which was cool. If you have a foundation that's too heavy and you want to shear it out a little bit, this could work for you as well. Like you can use the things that I was kind of not as happy about to your advantage if those are things you're interested in. I think this is really fun and neat. At first I thought it was a little gimmicky, but it did work really well. My face looks pretty flawless. If I did cream contour, I could try doing that, but I don't have any cream contour products because that just sounds like, I don't know. I've never been into cream contour, but that would be fun to try out with this. I'm excited to try new things with this. Maybe some cream highlight. Should I do that now? Yeah, let's do some cream highlight. Haha, you thought this demo was over. It's not. I'm going to take this Palladio I'm Glowing Creamy Stick Luminizer. Just did a first impressions on this as well. Let's check that out. And let's just draw on our cheeks a little bit. Let's see how this blends in. This blends in really well with the finger. It's really creamy. Trying to make this not look as much of a line. feel like I need to wipe this off on my rag again because it got a lot of product on there. This is like after still having foundation on here and all that other product I was using before, and it's still blending this highlight really nice. I think that worked really well. Also, this is a really easy to blend cream highlight. So you probably use liquid highlight as well and have a good time. I think that worked really well for cream highlight as well. So I'm liking this for a lot of things. I would give it about a B because I'm really bad that it sheared out this face makeup, but other than that, it worked really well. It pretty much does what it says it will do. I don't think it says anywhere that it would give you full coverage. I just kind of expected it would because the bristles are so dense. I do give this a thumbs up. I do like it overall. You guys were watching. Let me know how you thought it applied or what you think of this product. If you've ever tried it, if you've tried the Artis brushes, how it looks like it compares to those. And you can just like, oh, well, I just dropped the cap. But I could cover it up and just take that with me to go traveling. So that's really cool. This was well thought through, well made, does its job. So thanks for sending this to me, Cailyn Cosmetics. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was fun to watch, and maybe if you wanted the Artis brushes but you were like, girl, no, that price tag, maybe you could look into this as well. They might have other sizes and shapes. I think it's just this one, but they should look into making other sizes and shapes because that little eyeliner one looks so cool. The Artis one, I want to dupe for that. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and leave me a comment down below, and subscribe to join the MissGlamBAM fam. Thank you guys so much. For those of you who are already subscribed, it means so much. Thank you for checking out my channel and my video, and I will see you in my next one. 3, 2, 1, bam!
I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? Seen your pretty ass soon as you came in the door. I just wanna chill, got a stack for us to roll. Married to the money, introduced her to my store.